Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for letting us stay a little late so that I can go here. I appreciate it. And thank you to the witnesses for taking the time, Professor McCord, Mr. Banger, Dr. King, and Mr. Fair. Really appreciate y'all taking the time to be here. Mr. Fair, do you recognize the tattoo on this man's chest? This is Secretary Hegseth.
No.
It's a tattoo of the Jerusalem cross. Your organization has referred to it as essentially a hate image. Do you agree with that assessment?
I'd have to see the assessment in our material to determine.
Referred to it as a hateful.
I'm not familiar with the symbol.
You're not familiar. Do you have any thoughts on that symbol, on that tattoo?
No, I don't.
No, none at all? You don't have any opinion on it?
No, I don't.
Okay. What about this tattoo? Do you have an opinion on this tattoo?
I'm not an expert on tattoos.
That is a reasonable limitation in isolation. But Gill immediately changes the test by presenting a second tattoo, this time associated with Maine Democratic Senate candidate Graham Platner. The question is no longer asking Fair to identify an obscure image from memory, it is asking whether the same organization applies the same political standard to two different people. Fair does not claim expertise, and he does not make a definitive identification. He instead accepts the premise conditionally: if the image is a Nazi symbol, the SPLC opposes Nazis. That distinction is easy to miss, but it is the entire structure of the exchange.
Tattoos, no, I don't.
Okay, I can give you a little bit of background. This is a tattoo on Maine Democrat Senate candidate Graham Platner's chest. That's the Nazi SS death head tattoo. Do you have any opinions on that?
If it's what you say, if it's a Nazi symbol, we oppose Nazis.
We oppose, I agree, we do oppose Nazis. Do you think if somebody got a Nazi tattoo on their chest, that's indicative that they might be a Nazi?
You'd have to ask Mr. Platner why he has that symbol. I've already said that if it is a symbol of Nazism, we oppose Nazis.
You don't.
The phrase, "if it's what you say," is doing the work here. Fair is not endorsing Gill's full description of the tattoo, and he is not saying that the person who has it is automatically a Nazi. He is stating a narrower position: the SPLC opposes Nazis and Nazi symbols if the image is correctly identified that way. Gill then presses for the step beyond the symbol, whether possessing it should disqualify someone from serving in the Senate. Fair's eventual answer is personal and political, not an institutional finding. That leaves two separate questions on the table: what the tattoo represents, and what conclusion should be drawn about the person wearing it.
I don't think that that's indicative that perhaps he holds Nazi sentiments.
It may well be.
It may well be. I think, do people who aren't Nazis normally get Nazi tattoos on their chest?
Again, I assume they don't.
You assume they don't? I would assume so too. I don't know anybody who's not a Nazi. I don't know anybody who has a Nazi tattoo on their chest but is not a Nazi. Do you?
No.
Do you think that somebody who has a Nazi tattoo on their chest should serve in the United States Senate?
I wouldn't vote for that person.
That answer is narrower than the headline many people will take from the clip. Fair says he would not vote for someone with a Nazi tattoo, but he does not explicitly declare that Graham Platner is a Nazi, and he does not establish that the tattoo alone legally disqualifies a candidate. On the abortion question, he also does not accept Gill's yes or no framing. So the verifiable takeaway is not that one side proved every accusation in the room. It is that Gill forced the witness to separate institutional labels, personal voting judgments, disputed facts, and broader political claims, and the witness gave different levels of certainty to each one. That distinction is the part worth carrying beyond this hearing.
I certainly wouldn't either. Do you think that this should disqualify him politically from serving in the Senate?
Again, I'm not sure where the line of questions is going. The SPLC, if you're asking me, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
If you're asking me if the SPLC opposes Nazis and Nazi symbols, the answer is yes.
Yep. The SPLC has referred to this same tattoo as a racist skinhead symbol and tattoo. You can see the resemblance there. You wouldn't want somebody with a tattoo like that in the Senate?
No.
No, I wouldn't either. I appreciate your candor there. Got a couple other questions. Shifting gears a little bit, your organization said that restricting and banning abortion is a tool of that the far right uses to maintain white supremacy. Do you believe that pro-lifers are white supremacists?
I believe that reproductive liberty is...
No, do you believe that pro-lifers are white supremacists?
I will tell you what I believe if you're asking...
Yes or no?
This is where the hearing moves from a question about one candidate's tattoo to a much broader accusation about millions of Americans. Gill cites an SPLC description of abortion restrictions as a tool used by the far right to maintain white supremacy, then asks Fair whether pro-life people are white supremacists. Fair refuses the yes or no formulation and redirects to the organization's position on reproductive liberty. Those are not the same answer. The wording Gill cites describes a political strategy. The question he asks turns that description into a category covering every person who identifies as pro-life. The gap between those two claims is the sharpest issue in this section.
I can't answer that question, yes or no.
I don't think that pro-lifers are white supremacists. Do you?
What I think is that reproductive liberty is a right that every woman should enjoy.
How many babies in the United States that are aborted are black? About 40% of abortions nationwide are of black babies.
Gill uses that figure to argue that abortion policy cannot be discussed only as a question of white supremacy, because the demographic impact he cites is heavily concentrated among black Americans. But the number is presented by Gill in the hearing, it is not independently established by the exchange itself, so the script has to keep that attribution visible. Fair does not engage the statistic directly. He returns to reproductive liberty, while Alveda King later supplies the most direct counterargument, saying that pro-life advocates oppose abortion regardless of skin color. The audience is left with two competing frameworks, Gill's argument about demographic impact and King's claim about universal protection, but not a shared examination of the underlying number.
Represent about 13% of the population. Does that sound like something a white supremacist would oppose?
What I would say again is that SPLC supports reproductive liberty.
Calling somebody a white supremacist is a pretty serious charge, isn't it? I would think you would be able to defend that if your organization says that. You clearly seem unable to.
Mr. Gill, I'm not sure why you would think I'm unable to do anything.
Because you're the president of the SPLC, which labels pro-lifers as racists.
Well,
does your organization just hurl around epithets like that without any justification?
Mr. Gill, what we do is
I'm giving you the opportunity to
You're not giving me the
Mr. Chairman, what's he referring to? And can he let the witness answer the question? This is outrageous.
No, it's not.
Allow him to speak.
I know you don't like my question.
What are you referring to?
I know you don't like my question.
What are you referring to,
Time
Mr. Gill?
belongs to the gentleman from Texas.
here.
It's now expired, but he will be able to ask his last question, and we'll give the witness a chance to respond.
All right, I'll give my last question to Dr. King. Dr. King, are pro-lifers white supremacists?
Pro-lifers cannot be white supremacists. Pro-lifers believe in life from the womb to the tomb and beyond. Pro-lifers fight for every baby in the womb, regardless of skin color. We have been aborted as blacks in America disproportionately. And so the white supremacists are Planned Parenthood, who admitted that they do have racist underpinning with an agenda to reduce the black population by abortion.
That's right. Thank you, Dr. King.
Thank you.
Thank you.